Sorry for the wait, but we're back to continue the war. No devastating problems with recording this time, I just got busy. Operation Sacred Heat drops us into Beijing to deal with another abduction site. After last episode, we are locked, loaded, and incredibly strong compared to previous outings. The gang is rocking new armor, new weapons, we have genetically enhanced soldiers, and the world's first mech trooper deploying. We're pulling out all the stops for this one. Demon starts off this mission by flexing on the rest of the squad, using his powerful new thighs to leap 2 stories to the rooftop of the closest building. The rest of the squad, with their relatively normal thighs, take the low road, passing through the northwest building for cover. As Demon reaches the other side of the rooftop, he spots a new type of foe: mutons. These big, lumbering brutes are chunky yet funky, boasting some of the highest health we've seen in an enemy unit so far, and hitting like a truck. And we've just alerted 3 of them. We need to respond quick before they take him out, and I have a 3-step plan ready to go. Step 1 is to move Whiskey out of the way. I move her into the alleyway and position her behind the dumpsters there. Unfortunately, on her way out, she activates a pair of floaters that until that moment hadn't opted to join the fight yet. They both fly straight up, obtaining both a flanking and elevation bonus against Demon. Step 2 is to open up a clear line of fire for our other soldiers. Buster fires a rocket, blasting out a corner of the building and leaving one of the mutons at critical health. Fernando takes it out with his novelty oversized machine gun. Whiskey drops one of the other mutons to near death. And Crash and Bull unfortunately missed their follow-up attacks. On the enemy's turn, 2 Seekers enter the fray. One of the mutons lays suppressing fire on Whiskey, and an incredible stroke of luck for us, both floaters miss their attacks on Demon despite their bonuses. Once we are back in control, we have Demon take out the muton down below with a crit to free up Whiskey. I attempt to have Bull stun the last remaining muton, but he unfortunately sees no success with that endeavor. I have Buster finish it off to prevent it from killing him on its next turn. Whiskey uses her newfound freedom to reposition and take out one of the floaters, and on the next turn we kill the other. 1 Seeker appears with Demon and we take it out, and while we wait for the second one to make its appearance, 3 more floaters arrive from the other side of the next building. As the second Seeker latches onto Demon, the floaters make their play too. One flies somewhere on the map, the game doesn't show me where he ends up. One attempts to flank and completely misses Fernando, while the third takes out over half of Crash's health. Whiskey once again saves Demon from the Seeker, but his health is getting low. This is when I discover where the last floater ended up, directly behind Demon on that same rooftop, all but guaranteeing a hit based on the flanking rules we turned on at the start of the game. No one has a way to get up to assist him on the rooftop. The positioning of the floater means no one at ground level stands a chance of getting a shot off on it. Demon's thighs could handle a jump back to ground level with no problem, but my panicked brain decides to instead gamble on a 35% shot, and with that one decision, his fate is sealed. He misses. I panic and try to see if any of my other soldiers can do, well, anything, but no dice. The best we can do now is try to take out the other floaters and pray. This rooftop floater is the last enemy remaining for this mission, and it's decided that it's going to take someone down with it, leave a mark on the army that's been decimating their forces quite handily thus far. With a critical hit, dealing enough damage to kill him even if he were at full health, Barrett Demon Vogel is dead. This is the first loss that has come as a result of my own tactical failures. We lost Ursula earlier, sure, but that was a glitch in the game more than anything I could have possibly predicted or prevented. This blood is purely on my hands. For the 3rd time in this war, Crash is panicking. Luckily, he only uses his turn to hunker down and attempt to avoid being shot again. We finish off the floater when it comes down to foolishly challenge the survivors, and the mission comes to a close. On the results screen, I have to attempt to process Demon's death with this funky, very inappropriate for the moment tune playing on a nearby radio.
Another one down. Good work, Commander.
Though we'll mourn the loss of one of our strongest and longest-serving soldiers, we must press forward. And for now, that means accepting promotions. Bull becomes a captain and takes the Bring 'em On perk, which makes him deal 1 more damage on a crit for each enemy the squad has in their sights, up to a limit of 5 enemies translating to 5 extra damage. As Fernando is becoming a sergeant, he earns the nickname Forklift and takes vital point targeting, which will give bonus damage against enemies that we've successfully performed autopsies on. Which, with my research habits, means we'll have that bonus against just about everything except brand new enemy units. Back at the base, we do some heavy-duty housekeeping, medals, officer training school upgrades, several autopsies, research begun on heavy lasers, and foundry improvements to all pistols to boost their crit rate by 20%. Finally, we build the skeleton key required to get into the alien base we discovered a few episodes ago. I still want to put a little more work into gearing up our squad for this assault, as it's certain to be a pretty big undertaking, but this ensures that the moment we're ready, we can get in. France asks us for some Thin Man corpses in exchange for $40, and we just kinda have them cluttering up the cargo bay, so we let them take a few off our hands. Right after this exchange, we get a heads up that the largest UFO we've seen yet has been spotted over Russia. We actually almost lose this one. For the first time, we have to abort the pursuit with our first Raven and send in a second one to clean up after it. And that one almost gets shot down too. We gear up a squad of heavy hitters for this mission, as I expect this particular UFO encounter to have a plethora of enemies to fight in very tight spaces. We've got Bull as an assault, Whiskey for support, Buster, Crash, and Shilong as heavies, and Forklift the mech for some extra firepower. Surprisingly, a good portion of this mission goes off without a hitch. The squad moves through a ship easily twice as big as any UFO we've shot down before, taking out pods of floaters, seekers, the usual outsider that always comes on these UFO assault missions. The only trouble we had this time was when Buster, moving alone through an area we had already explored, tipped off a squad of 3 mutons that we had completely missed, chilling just outside of the ship. They were in an incredibly obnoxious position to try and fight, but we bolstered our odds by dropping smoke, lobbing grenades in their direction, and taking incredibly risky rocket shots to both damage our foes and open up more spots to shoot them from. Despite all of these attempts to survive, Bull is very nearly killed, surviving on 2 health after taking 10 damage from point-blank shots. After negotiations, stunning the bastards, fail, we opt to just kill them. With these out of the way, we had Whiskey heal up Bull, and we went on to finish the mission with no casualties.
Commander, the operation was a success.
We sell off the damaged UFO parts we salvaged for 165 credits, and put the funds into foundry research for improved medkits, which will let them heal 50% more than they already do. As we figure out what the next steps are, the Council contacts us with a critical new mission. The device we got from Zhang a few episodes ago is a transponder, currently indicating that an alien battleship is approaching the planet. Shen believes we can throw it off course and lead it into a trap if we can deploy modified transponders to affect its landing site. It's time for a preemptive strike rather than a retaliatory one. Next episode, we're sending a squad on Operation Falling Priest. Today has brought us some tragedy, but despite the losses, we've also glimpsed hope for the future of humanity. When faced with ever greater dangers, we continue to prevail. And under the threat of the most well-armed alien craft we have ever seen, we're making plans to board their warship and take it for ourselves. Only time will tell which way the war will end, but I'm feeling optimistic. Thanks for watching this video. If you're enjoying the journey we're on, like the video, subscribe to hear when more episodes come out. This war only continues with your support. I'll see you next time.